We have a name, and it is Off the Fence Podcast. His idea. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Alright, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about it.
We're not changing.
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna change it anymore. But if you hate it, you hate it.
But this is going to be the UFC 300 recap episode. It is now Monday, and we've given ourselves enough time to consume it, and we're ready to talk about it.
It's also 11 a.m., so we're not gonna be drinking any beer today.
Nope, espressos for us.
Yeah, just coffee. Cheers.
Cheers. There's Kahlua in here. I'm kidding.
Dude, what a night of fights. Holy
that was
shit,
insane.
Man.
I think everybody's thinking the same thing, Max Holloway, but we'll get into that.
The whole card, I think start to finish, the whole card was pretty nuts. I remember watching it. I think I posted on my story. Watching Cody Garbrandt go out first, or like for the first fight, I was just like, how is it this early and Cody's already fighting? Like,
yeah, and you definitely saw in the stands too. Like
yeah,
a lot of people
packed.
showed out. It was already packed. Kind of what we expected to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, even that fight was a great fight to start off the card. Cody was looking good, man. Cody was looking real good in the first round. And Figueiredo had to turn it up in the second and got it done.
I think, yeah, man. I think Figgy's grappling just took over. Because Cody won the first round with his striking. Figgy says he wants to fight for the championship.
A little too soon for that.
Well, he's also older, but I think if Cody was able to do that to him on the feet, they had a pretty good back and forth. But you could tell Cody rocked him a little bit. What's O'Malley gonna do to him? You know,
yeah, and there's still like 135 is on fire, man.
A good fight for him though would be against Peter Yan.
Yeah, Peter Yan would be a good fight at 135, and then you got other dogs up there too. You got Sanhagen, O'Malley, the champ, of course, and Dillashaw's out. Fuck, who else? You got Umar. Umar's really good, and then you got youngcomers too, like Talbot, and then Cody Simon. I know he just lost to Talbot, but still, like even the young guns coming in 35, and then what's Dominic Cruz up to as well. So 135, there's a lot of options for that dude. Next one.
Bobby Green versus Jim Miller.
We were wrong.
I wasn't wrong. I went back and I was like, wait, I think I got Bobby right. Yeah, and I even said exactly. I was like, I think Bobby's speed is gonna be too much. Jim's not gonna be able to keep up. If Jim's way to winning is grappling, and he didn't grapple.
I went against my man Bobby, man.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I paid the price. I'm glad Jim is okay.
Yeah.
But fuck, Bobby looked good.
That was a damn Bobby. Bobby put on a show.
But where's Bobby now in the top 15? That's my question. Is he kind of the gatekeeper? Is he right there? Is he the person that you have to get past to actually get into the top 15 and be taken seriously now for lightweight?
I think that's gonna be his new role. He's 38, I think.
Yeah, he's up there. Doesn't look like it though.
No, man, the dude is fast.
Yeah.
But he's fast against Jim Miller.
Yeah, that's true.
Know? Which I'm not trying to like diss on Jim or anything, but is he that fast against these 27-year-olds?
Yeah, we were just having this discussion before we even pressed record. Like Bobby Green, he's looking good again, like you said, against Jim Miller. But like again when he fought Jalen Turner, when he fought Drew Dober.
Yeah.
Drew Dober's a little up there too, but still he's fresher. You know what I mean? When he's put up against opponents who are just a little bit faster, he faces a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
So, still nonetheless, can't take it away from him. Great performance. Man, I'm glad Jim Miller's okay.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna retire, but
he's got that dog in him, dude.
Yeah, well, hopefully he has one more good fight in him before he says goodbye. Next fight I want to talk about. You want to talk about the Andrade fight? Or you want to skip over it?
Let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
Marina was looking good. Her striking was looking good. The distance was good. The Brazilians knew what they were doing. They kind of took over the whole prelim card, the preliminary fights. They dominated, to be honest. And it was with her grappling, which is kind of awesome to see. But Marina, man, I don't know what it is, if it's her stamina or her confidence. She needs to stick to her striking because her striking's solid. Her range is solid. She's a difficult, amazing Muay Thai fighter to get past. But Andrade was there. She showed up.
I actually had Rodriguez winning.
Yeah.
But I think what happened was when she was playing her game, really long distance, like she was piecing her up. Whatever she wanted was there. She would just hit her whenever, wherever she wanted. But as soon as she would get hit, you could tell that she was like, "Whoa, what am I doing? What's going on? What's going on?"
See it in her eyes.
Yeah, and then obviously the grappling in the first round when Andrade landed on top. Yeah, that was That was pretty clear. But I think that's what happened. I think she just when she would get hit by Andrade.
Yeah.
And I remember I told you I was like Andrade had to come in with like those like little
those
walking
little
down
lunging
style.
hooks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean.
Shit, dude. Honestly, Marina Rodriguez, I just want to see her finish the whole fight like she starts it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. Because like you said, she was killing her on the feet. And she has that striking, man. She has that power. And she's young, too. Hopefully she'll just learn from this and then on to the next, you know?
Yeah. Moicano versus Jalen Turner.
Dude, I'm just going to say it, bro. I took a lot of L's on this card. I took a lot of L's. I talked my shit. This one being one of them. And I fuck with Moicano, too.
Yeah.
Jalen Turner, same thing I said with Marina. It's either confidence or cardio. Like, I don't know what it is. And I even think, this is my just assumption, I think Jalen Turner tried to walk away from that knockout or knockdown because he just wanted to get out of there. Like,
that's where he lost the fight.
Yeah, like he just wanted to be out of the round. Maybe because of cardio, maybe he just wanted to have it be a quick night. I'm not sure. But that was his biggest mistake.
It looks to me like he just wanted a highlight reel knockout, and then he was like, I'm just gonna do this, boom, and like as soon as he hit him, Moicano goes down. My guess, Jalen Turner was like, "Oh, that's a highlight reel. I'm walking out," and then Moicano was like, "I'm not really out, bro." Like,
yeah, he got back up and did his thing.
I think that's where Jalen Turner lost the fight.
Again, though, the Brazilians came back from all the adversity and they used their jiu-jitsu. Same thing Moicano did, and you could tell as soon as he got hit from the first punch of Jalen Turner, he had to clinch immediately. You could see it in his face. Same thing.
But even in the first round, when Moicano was on top, you could tell Jalen Turner was uncomfortable there, and then Moicano was just dominating that position.
Yeah.
So in the second round,
he had to take it to the floor.
Yeah, it was obvious where the fight needed to go for Moicano to win, and he did what he needed to do, and then he delivered another badass speech.
And it only showed because Moicano is a striker. He may be Brazilian, but he is a striker, and he is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. But he uses his Jiu-Jitsu and shows how complete of a fighter he really is. People forget that. He likes to keep it on the feet because that's the type of fighter that he is. He has that dog in him. But people forget. And, you know, Jalen Turner is a great example of that. And he finished tonight on top.
Good for him. I think Moicano would do well against either give him Dan Hooker because they already have beef. I know Dan Hooker doesn't like Moicano. That'd be a good lead up. Or give him Dariush. And the reason I say Dariush is because Dariush coming off a 2-fight losing streak.
He's in a position to give up that number.
Yeah. Well, and even then, I want to see where Dariush is at. And I think that if Moicano goes to the ground with Dariush, he won't have the same advantages that he has against other people.
Right.
Right? And then Dariush has been knocked out recently, so that Moicano could also catch him. But I think if Moicano does good against Dariush on the ground, then that puts him in a position to fight top 5 guy.
What's Dariush? What's his rank?
I know he's still in the top 10.
So like 7, 8 probably.
Something around there.
That's what I would take. And that is a good number to put up on a fight. And I do think, I agree. I think Moicano should fight for that kind of number, 7, 8, around there. Where's Dan Hooker?
Around that same area.
Same area? Yeah. Either one is a good one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yusuf and Lopez, I think I was right on this one, right? I think I took Lopez.
Yeah, we both took Lopez. I didn't think it was going to be that fast, though.
I mean, I think all of his finishes have been in the first round, no?
Yeah, I was surprised. Especially against Yusuf. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that to Yusuf.
My man had the war helmet on. The day he gets rid of the mullet is the day I'm going to start to question things. Until then...
Beso Pluma came to fight.
He did. Fucking Rubicon. That was a quick night for him. I'm surprised he didn't get a bonus. But, I mean, the way the night ended, shit.
Yeah. He got...
Not surprised.
Dana said he got taken.
Shit.
But where does Diego go from here?
He's number... What was...
Now
was
he's
like
13.
number 13?
Yeah, so now he's in the top 15. He called out Evolov, which is what was his debut fight.
Yeah.
Running that fight back. Evolov is in the top 5, though. So he would have to jump a lot to get up there. Featherweights aren't going to be happy with that.
Sure.
And then he said after that he wants to fight for the title.
Yeah.
We'll see how that happens. I think he has 2 more fights at the top 10. One top 10, one top 5. If he wins both, undeniable, he's fighting for the title.
I know he fought the same night, but Calvin Kattar would be a great fight at 45. Who else? Is Fili in the 15? Top 15?
No, and Felix fighting Cub Swanson.
That's very true.
Shout out Cub.
If you want to give him that jump, give him Ortega, bro. Why not? Why not?
No, Ortega's in a really good position. He just beat Yair in pretty dominant fashion. He's top 5 or top 3 probably. Why would he fight someone that's ranked number 13? If anything, give him Yair.
Yeah, that's true. He's the one who lost.
Yeah, and I think Yair would beat striking.
Yeah,
I doubt he's gonna be able to do that to Yair.
I just want to think about the pace of that fight.
Yair's gonna be able to dominate that pace. Giga would be a good one. Giga's ranked number 9, and striker versus whatever Diego Lopez is.
How would he do against Barboza?
I think he'd do well. Yusuf couldn't even touch Barboza like that.
Yeah. MMA math is weird though. Next fight?
Oh yeah, next fight. Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrison.
Were you surprised?
I was so heartbroken.
I knew the blonde was gonna win. That's all I knew. And she used her judo again.
Which is what winner the fight.
Were you surprised? I know she hates being compared to Ronda Rousey, but I mean...
Ronda didn't use her judo against Holly because Ronda thought she could strike her, and obviously you can't.
Yeah, but just being a blonde, using your judo in the UFC is what she hated, and unfortunately that's what won her the fight. So I just thought that was pretty funny. Great job to her.
Yeah.
What's next for her though?
I think the winner of Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington. It's just automatic title shot. Who else is there in
Irene Aldana?
No, she's gonna dominate Irene Aldana.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think she deserves the respect though. Put some respect on Irene Aldana's name. And that fight against Nunes too, she could have done way better. She deserves a better opportunity at a title shot. But then again, I mean, hey, she just didn't show up that night, so.
But Kayla's already a star.
Yeah.
She came in. They put her on. They set her up to be a star.
Are they gonna do the Chandler effect?
Yeah.
Kayla Harrison, you think?
Chandler's second fight was for the title against Oliveira. So I think the same thing's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Her second fight is gonna be for the title. There just really isn't much competition
At 135.
At 135 in the women's division. If this was 115 or 125, she's got a row of killers to go through before she gets anywhere near the title.
Yeah, that's very true. And does Amanda come back if she gets that title?
I hope she doesn't.
She posted that selfie video.
She did post that. I hope she doesn't. Amanda went out on top. She did what she needed to do. She doesn't got to prove anything to anyone.
Learn from Cejudo.
Yeah. Please. Do not come back.
Don't come back.
She's the GOAT of MMA or female MMA. Okay?
You've done what you've done.
Right off into the sunset.
And it's obvious she came when you were gone.
Yeah. Well, I think that was like contract issues. But either way, Amanda, you're never gonna see this, but please, just you don't have to prove anything to anyone.
Stay at home.
You're the best female MMA fighter that's ever lived.
Go hit the bag for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're feeling antsy, go hit some pads.
No one is doubting you.
Yeah, nobody's doubting you.
Yeah, no one's doubting you. You don't have to prove anything. Kayla can do her run. You're still gonna be the best.
You'll still beat her too. It's okay. We love you, Kayla, but Amanda, just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it, Amanda.
Leave on top. Look at Khabib. He's fine.
Next fight, Kattar versus Sterling.
Again, are you surprised? I was a little bit. I thought Kattar was gonna do a little bit more. I didn't think he was gonna let the pressure get to him.
Yeah.
Kattar is just a little slow with his footwork. He's boxing heavy, so I'm not really surprised. Aljo took advantage of that.
He got frustrated. You can tell he got frustrated, and that's where he lost the fight.
Yeah, because once Aljo was hitting those doubles and picking his legs up, you kind of knew it was a wrap.
Power.
Yeah, slamming him.
Yeah.
That Jamaican power, man.
But listen, people are gonna hate on Aljo because it was probably the most boring fight on the card, the least 300-esque card fight on the card. But when you're moving up a weight class against someone who's as sharp as Kattar, you have to
make a statement.
Yeah, and you have to fight a boring fight against them.
Yeah.
But it also takes two to tango, right? So
it does.
Look at some of these other wrestlers that would always do this stuff. But when they had a good game opponent, it'd be a fun fight.
And it's stylistically too, right? Like people say, when you put two high-level strikers together, they're more than likely going to wrestle because they respect each other's striking too much. Yeah. And then vice versa, right? When it's two amazing grapplers, they're probably going to bang it out, because they respect each other's grappling too much. But when you put one high-level striking, high-level grappling, whoever gets there first. That's the name of the game, And Aljo was there first.
And it was also up to Cater to either fight him on the ground or get back up. Obviously, easier said than done to get back up again, especially someone like Aljo.
Yeah.
But, dude, like, Cater kept on backing up, and then you could tell in the third round, Cater just wasn't even letting his hands go anymore.
And it's nothing to Cater at all. I'm sure his camp was purely wrestling. Aljo's just, he's that guy.
Yeah.
And side note, can Diego fight Aljo?
Oh, wow, yeah, that'd be cool.
At 145? I didn't even think about that. I think that'd be a really good fight at 145.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to tear one of them down.
Yeah, that's true.
Whoever loses that fight loses their momentum at 45.
But I don't even think, like, let's say Aljo loses, I think he can't take it too hard because he's losing to a hot up-and-comer. And he knows, I think he will take that fight because of who Diego is right now at 145, because of the momentum. That would be a huge fight. That's main card fight worthy, for sure.
The feature prelim, which was Yuri Prohaska versus Alexander Rakic.
Rakic coming off of a 2-year skid from, what was it, tearing his...
Like his leg?
His knee or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Something got torn against Jan Blachowicz, and he came back after 2 years. He was looking good in the first round. Honestly,
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. If you remember what I said, if Rakic implements his game plan, it's going to be a boring fight that's going to get dragged out to a decision. If Yuri can do Yuri, it's going to be a finish. And in the first round, it was exactly that. Rakic was kicking the leg, keeping Yuri far enough away, hitting him with the counters. Yuri could not get in. The whole first round, you could tell Yuri was trying and trying.
He was getting frustrated, too.
Yeah, and Yuri would land here and there, but he wouldn't land he wouldn't land the shots that he needed. And Yuri was just picking apart his leg, keeping him away. Really, really good job by Rakic, excuse me. Really good job by Rakic to keep him away the whole first round. And then that second round, Yuri made the necessary adjustments to just be like, fuck it, this is my fight.
Yep.
And then he made it a Yuri fight, and you
pushed the pace.
Clearly, you could
kept
tell
him on his heels.
Yeah,
and then he caught him.
As soon as Yuri did Yuri, game over.
Yep, all she wrote. And we'll get into what's next for him once we go over the main event. But as far as Rakic goes, I mean, he could run it back with Jan for his next fight.
I think that'd be a good good call, man.
Yeah, since it ended in weird terms, similar to like Ortega versus Yair, the first one, they could run it back and see who the real winner of that could be.
All right, now we go into the main card.
He's the truth. Is he?
Bo Nickel versus Cody Brundage.
I personally thought when Cody hit him with those early shots, you could see it in Bo's face. It's something that he obviously hadn't gone through yet. But he adjusted well. He stuck to what he knew, stuck to the game plan, took it to the floor. Cody's defense was there at first, and then Bo did Bo.
Yeah.
You know, he locked in and got the submission. What's next for Bo? 185.
So there's either give him another unranked opponent, but he's got to be top 20 unranked.
Right.
Okay. Someone that's about to make their call into the rankings.
I agreed with his call out. He said Kopilov or Fluffy. Anthony Hernandez. I think Anthony Hernandez is coming off that dub off of Kopilov.
Is Kopilov ranked?
He was 15 when he fought Hernandez.
That'd be a good fight then. That'd be a really good fight.
Hernandez
he's what,
is now,
16, 17 now?
Yeah, and I think now Hernandez is 15. So I think Bo should get for that 15 spot and slowly work his way up because it's obviously he's being spoon fed.
Yeah.
So I think knocking on the 15 and Anthony Hernandez is a dog, man. Kopilov was coming off a couple solid dubs. Coming off of striking as well. It was already known that he was a grappler. But Hernandez weathered the storm, got it to the ground, and submitted the Russian.
What about Joe Pyfer?
That would be a good one.
Joe Pyfer's coming off that loss against Jack Hermanson. And Joe Pyfer was trying to get into the top 15. He wasn't unable to against Jack.
It'd be a big fight here in America, that's for sure.
That's a main event.
Fight night main event. I just
event.
don't think they're going to try and do that with Bo. I think they're going to O'Malley him and they're going to keep him on the main card.
And they like Joe Pyfer too.
Yeah.
So they also want to make sure Joe Pyfer gets a good next fight so that he gets back on the winning road.
I think that's a good feature prelim on a good pay-per-view.
I see them both being in the top 5 in the next 2 years. So maybe then they would fight as a title eliminator or something.
But it's like you don't want to wait too long for those.
Yeah.
You want them nice and young.
There's a fight coming up in a few weeks at middleweight, which is Barlow versus Paul Craig.
Oof.
I think, and that's number 15 and number 13.
Mm-hmm.
So a good fight for Bo Nickel would be the loser of that fight.
Yeah.
Because the winner's going to advance.
Mm-hmm.
The loser is going to be number 15. If Bo wants to get into the top 15, that'd be a good one. Barlow's a banger, and Paul Craig is going to welcome him on the ground.
Paul Craig versus Bo Nickel does not sound bad at all.
Mm-hmm. Bo Nickel's going to have to fight him on the feet. Paul Craig's striking isn't the best, but when it gets to the ground, Paul Craig he'll be like, yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's like the Charles Oliveira of the middleweights. Next fight. Sorry, everybody. You guys are gonna hate me by the end of what I have to say on this fight.
Go for it.
Next fight, Charles Oliveira versus Arman Tsarukyan. I want to hear what John has to say first, though.
The champion still has a name, my boy, and his name is Charles Oliveira. I'm not gonna say what I said on Dustin jumping the ghillie. It was Charles Oliveira, and even Arman said it was extremely tight.
That was a good guillotine.
There's still a lion, and there's still a champ, and his name is Charles Oliveira. I do think Arman faced a lot of adversity, stuff he didn't face against Gamrot in terms of grappling. Striking too, Arman looked decent, didn't look better. This was obviously just a grappling fight, and Charles just didn't show up. It is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think Charles did show up. Because Charles looked better in this fight than he did against Islam. Right?
Yeah.
But Islam just has that effect on people.
Mm-hmm. As I say, Arman isn't Islam.
Yeah, but I did have Arman winning this fight 29-28. First round was Charles because of the guillotine, and then Charles had a lot of top control. How strong is Arman Tsarukyan? Charles was on mount.
Yeah.
And Arman just flipped him.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
He just flipped Charles out of mount.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Like,
that kid has to be strong as shit.
Yeah, he's got that Eastern European.
And now you have to think about it, right? How does him versus Islam go?
Yeah.
But now, I mean, we got Dustin versus Islam. That was announced later that night.
So, apparently, I heard this earlier today. They offered Arman the fight against Islam in June. Mm-hmm. But Arman was like, that's 2 months away. That's way too fast of a turnaround. I can't make it. Good for him on not taking that fight.
Yeah.
It would have been unfair for him.
Who steps in as a backup in case one of them can't make weight for that title fight?
Max. I'm just kidding.
That'd be dope.
We'll go to that. But yeah, so going back to this fight. I had Arman winning that fight 29-28. I know everyone made arguments like saying Charles won the fight, that he got robbed, that this and that. He did not get robbed.
No.
Even if Charles would have won it, Arman wouldn't have gotten robbed. It was a close fight.
It was just like a control fight, you know?
And I remember I said, because I went back to watch this, and if you go back to the last episode, I said Arman's way to victory is going to be to get on top in a dominant position and just throw little ground and pound. Okay? Yeah. Second round, that's all he did. He was just on top of Charles. At the end of the second round, he cut him open with an elbow. He was like putting it on Charles. And people were saying there was no damage and that he just held it. Charles' hair was like orange because of all the blood. Arman was on top of him, fucking him up. And then, if you look back, I watched this fight again last night. Arman looks up at the clock with, I think, like 20 seconds left or 15 seconds left. So he knows that the round's about to end. He has that little fury, right? Mm-hmm. He's aware that there's 2 seconds left on the clock when he lets Charles when Charles gets that triangle.
Yeah.
Arman was not in trouble.
At all.
He was not in trouble. Yeah, the arm was extended, but there was 1 second left.
I think the crowd just kind of sold that one.
Yeah, the crowd sold that one. Arman was not in trouble. He knew what was happening. He was aware of the time. He was aware of the position he was in.
He even threw a thumbs up, I think.
No, that was in the third round.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then in the third round...
Same thing.
Arman was winning the whole round. And then I was surprised that Arman just got double legs on Charles.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like, screw your whole jiu-jitsu, screw the guillotine, double legged him.
I think Arman proved a lot of doubters wrong this weekend. And definitely proved that title shot. So he's definitely going to be next for...
That Dars was not close either, okay?
Oh, man. It wasn't, no.
He went like this, thumbs up, the ref. And then some of the people that I was with watching the fight, legit Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts. And when Arman went flat, they both said, oh, he's defending correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about jiu-jitsu, but when 2 black belts say he's defending correctly, I'm kind of gonna listen to them.
I'm gonna smile and nod.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, whatever you say, because I have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to high level jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
We're both white belts. So, yeah, but yeah, and then you could tell people were saying like, oh, he went limp. He didn't go limp. He was defending the Dars. He was fine. Stop trying to take this away from Armin.
Yep.
He won fair and square.
Yep, he did, and he proved himself, and he's definitely next for the title. That's what I believe. Now, everybody's favorite fight of the night: Max, Blessed, Holloway. Fight of the year, knockout of the year,
knockout of the year. Ooh, that's top 5 knockouts of all time. Maybe?
Of all time. Just
because of who it was, the implications that were on the line.
Yep. The timing.
The timing.
The BMF.
The BMF.
The BMF, like, that is the best BMF title fight. That's the definition. I don't think he'll be able to top that.
Yeah. Like, there's got to be a picture of Max.
Second, man.
Yeah, there's got to be a picture of Max next to BMF until whoever has the belt next. It doesn't matter. Max is a BMF.
They're both BMFs, man. Yeah. That was the definition of BMF. That fight should have been the original fight from the beginning for that fucking belt. But it was inevitable.
And I love Dustin Poirier. So.
Yeah, right. So, and then Masvidal too, and Nate Diaz, right? Like, those are all BMFs. But in terms of the dog, the grit, the blood, the coming together, because you saw Justin Gaethje did not hesitate to run towards the middle and get to business.
Oh yeah, he was off for it. That's who those guys are.
Yeah,
Justin Gaethje is that guy too. You know?
Man, but what's next for Max? What is next for Max? Does he get a rank at lightweight after that fight?
He has to, but it's Ilya Topuria. Ilya already said that he wants to fight him.
Was Ilya drunk or was he scared? That's my thought.
Ilya's Ilya.
Yep.
Like, let's not forget what he did to Volk.
Yep.
Let's not forget what he did to Josh Emmett. Like, on his way up, to Bryce Smith. Ilya is Ilya, dude.
Yeah. And let's not forget what Volk did to Max.
Yeah.
3 times.
I think that third fight with Volk was
the stamp.
That was Volk right when he was like going up, peaking his career. That was at the top of the mountain.
Yep.
Right? Every fight was either on one side or the other of the mountain, but that fight was the top of the mountain.
Yeah, he was up with the clouds right then and there. And I mean, Max versus Ilya. I think Max's like biggest friend for that fight is gonna be his chin. Like, you're gonna really see if Ilya can knock people out. If Ilya takes out Max, what happens there? What questions are left? Nobody's gonna want to fuck with Ilya.
Yeah.
You know, and it's pretty obvious he's gonna dominate 45 for a while. But then what happens with Max if he beats 45? Does he go up and continue at 155 and get those 2 belts?
3 belts.
What shit?
BMF. Featherweight, lightweight. I don't think he can beat
Islam.
No.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. The actual fight itself, Justin Gaethje started off good. He started off right. Max immediately got to being Max, and I think Justin Gaethje breaking his nose at the end of the first round. That spinning wheel kick,
and Max
he tore his face. Did you see the cut?
Yeah.
He tore his face open.
But here's the thing with Justin Gaethje. He does that in all his fights where he'll kind of shell up like that.
Yeah.
Max just found a way to exploit it.
Yeah.
Every single time Justin would stand still and about to shell up, Max would throw that spinning kick. Yeah. He would throw it over and over and always land. Whether land on his arm, on his stomach, that first one on his nose. But that should have been a sign to Justin like, hey, maybe don't fucking do this anymore.
But that's just it. That's just Justin's style. That's just the way he is. He shows up and throws back. And you could tell at the very end, too, at the very end of the fight, it was just a speed thing, man.
Yeah.
Like, Justin was down to bang and hang in the pocket. It's just when you're in the pocket, it's going to be speed and it's going to be range. And Max's boxing is better, you know?
Yeah.
He's going to find you first.
Like, people don't give... people don't give Justin enough credit for his cardio because Justin has really good cardio. But when he broke his nose, that threw a wrench in his cardio.
Definitely.
So, and I think that's why he's so hard to knock out a lot of times or to put to sleep. But Max, if you notice, he put in. It wasn't that one shot that knocked him out. It was all the body shots, the constant head shots, the broken nose. That was just the straw that broke the camel's back. But
the real question: did Justin get a knockdown on Max, or did he slip? So literally, as we were switching batteries right now, I checked my phone, and it's recorded that he hasn't been knocked down yet. So I guess it was a slip.
Yeah. So Max is still.
Never been knocked down in his UFC career.
Hell yeah.
Even through a crazy ass fight like that. Definitely that fight's going to go down into the Hall of Fame. For sure.
There's going to be a blemish in the fight for the eye pokes in the second round.
Right. Yeah. How many was there? It was like
2 eye pokes, 1 on each eye. Unfortunate, unintentional. I'll say that, but yeah.
Definitely one of the best fights ever. I'm glad I was able to see it live.
Yeah, for sure. That was fun.
Who defends... or who fights for the BMF belt next after Max does what he does for lightweight or featherweight? I want to know in the comments, who do you think should fight for the BMF next?
Zhang Weili versus Yan.
Zhang did Zhang, man.
Yeah.
She put the China power, China on China. That fight, man.
Zhang looked slow on the feet.
She did, but she was still heavy. Like really, you could tell her shots had a lot of power.
But she got dropped a few times in that fight.
Yeah, no, I think Yan brought it too. It was just
Yan on the feet was, she was ready for a good fight. But Zhang did what champions do. Hey, I'm losing here.
Yep, adjusted.
Oh, I'm kicking her ass on the ground. Yeah, let's go to the ground.
Yeah.
And then first round. Do you think the fight should have been over there? At the end of the first round?
Yes, because she
was out.
She was out. She couldn't get up. But I mean, she made it to the bell.
I think the rule set is, I'm gonna be so wrong on this, but correct me if I'm wrong. If the fighter can get up and walk to their corner,
they're good.
They're good, right?
Yeah. She was wobbling to her corner.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the difference between that and someone that just got knocked down, but they still get up and walk?
That's
technically
true.
knocked out, you know?
That's true.
So
yeah, she looked kind of out there when she was sitting in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That she had it deep. Props to her for not tapping. She looked completely out by the time the bell rang. But yeah, like Aaron said, Zhang adjusted and she got the job done.
Yeah,
she did what champions do. At the end of the day, it's about keeping your belt, and that's what she did. She adjusted.
So there's one fighter at 115. She's on an 8-fight win streak. All decisions. Virna.
Yeah.
Do they give her the title shot?
Do we want that fight?
I'm sure she's a great fighter and all. But she's on an 8-fight win streak at strawweight. Not easy to do.
UFC is about pleasing the fans. That's why I'm such a big UFC fan.
And that one just doesn't...
No, but sometimes they're backed into a corner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sometimes they're backed into a corner and they have to keep the division moving. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. They're probably still going to put that fight together. Hopefully it's a quick night for Zhang. That's what everybody's going to be expecting. But yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that fight went the way it did, though. I thought it was going to be a banger for all 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
But Zhang did what she did, so props to her.
Yeah. But besides that, I think Wei Li's next mission is flyweight. Winner of Grasso versus Shevchenko.
That would be a banger, just adjustment, just to change, just to go up to that weight and challenge yourself. Mm-hmm. There's so much more smoke for her up there. So many more options that she can go with.
Jessica Andrade went up there and she did really well until she got to Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I think Wei Li could do really well, especially against someone like Grasso. Yeah. Grasso's very boxing heavy. Don't get me wrong, we love Grasso here.
Yeah.
But I think Wei Li, her wrestling, I don't know about the size difference though, but her wrestling could be a big factor in that.
Yeah, I think that move would be something. And has she even talked about that? Has she said that she wants to go up?
Not that I know of.
No. I don't know. She may be smart and just do her thing. A lot of people want O'Malley to do the same thing, just stay in his weight class and just dominate.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the difference. Look at the top 5.
Yeah.
Zhang Wei Li has beat, I think, 4 out of the top 5.
Yeah.
So, like, she's done her
Now
job.
what? Yeah.
She's done her job in the weight class. O'Malley, on the other hand, he's beating Peter Yan.
Yeah, and then he beat Cheeto, who was like 6 or 7.
Yeah, but he's not top 5.
Yeah.
So O'Malley hasn't beat anyone besides Peter Yan in the top 5.
Yeah.
So O'Malley has work to do. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has work to do. Not saying he can't go up and be competitive at featherweight, but for now, no.
Let's get into the main event. Jamal Hill versus Alex Pereira.
We were both wrong.
We were both wrong. Obviously I wanted Hill to win.
Yeah, we were both rooting for Hill.
It's just when you're southpaw and you're going against orthodox and you're both pairing the lead hand. When and like Pereira has such a dangerous left hook, all he needs to do is parry that lead hand and reach over. He has the reach, and that's exactly what happened. Jamal Hill, hit him in the balls, waved it off, and he was.
That was so cool. He just waved it off.
He just said never, like, don't worry about it, and just parried the hand, and then reached right over with that hook. Everybody's misunderstanding Pereira's power. Like, everybody just wants to look over it. The dude's ready to go to heavyweight in a month.
What I'm surprised with, how good is Izzy's chin?
Bro.
Because Izzy never went down.
Yep.
Right? He never got knocked down by Pereira. At least not in the 5th round, that fight.
That's so true.
And he took a lot of those. He took a few of those throughout the fight. And even the second MMA fight, he took some of those too. Yeah. And Izzy it might have been a combination of Izzy having a good chin and Pereira being not at 100% because he was down at 185.
Right.
So he probably just didn't have all that strength.
And I think Pereira going up to heavyweight isn't a crazy idea, but I think he fights Aspinall, and I think whoever wins that is gonna fight John Jones. I just see the UFC pulling some shit like that. Here's
the thing. Heavyweight is a shit show right now because you got John Jones that wants to fight Stipe.
Yeah.
He wants to fight Stipe over Aspinall, which doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. And then we got Aspinall there that's just kind of like, what's up, man? What am I doing here?
Yeah. With the fucking belt. So, I mean, it makes no sense.
I don't know why they haven't... I know Jones is hurt, but I don't know why... When he comes back, it should be Jones versus Aspinall. Yeah. But it's going to be Jones versus Stipe. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
I think they just want to... Jones just wants to have that I beat Stipe thing under his belt.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you do with Pereira then? If Pereira wants to go up to heavyweight, does he fight? No,
there's someone
does he fight top 5 first?
Yeah, but there's someone at light heavyweight that's right there. Ankalaev.
So you think he needs to defend against Ankalaev?
Against Ankalaev. Just because Ankalaev fought for the belt against Jan and
it was a tie.
It was a draw. And then he fought Johnny Walker twice. And he knocked him out the second time. Ankalaev is right there, dude.
That's true.
And Ankalaev has been there for a while.
Yeah.
And hasn't really gotten his flowers, you know? I get it. He's not the most exciting fighter, you know?
Yeah.
But he's there, and I think he deserves to fight for the belt.
And light heavyweight, it used to be a shit show, but now things are looking up because you have options after this fight, right? Like, you have Ankalaev fighting for the belt next. You have Yuri versus Jamal, which is a fight that everybody's been wanting to see for a really long time.
We made a bet on that
like a year ago.
I think
in his house.
When Jamal won the title, we were saying like, oh, Yuri's gonna fight him back, and then we made a bet.
Yeah.
I forgot how much we could bet.
I think it was like $50.
I don't care. We went to Vegas together. 20 or 50 bucks right now. $20
on Yuri.
On Yuri, Jamal Hill smokes that fool.
Nah, I got Yuri.
Jamal Hill smokes him.
But Jamal Hill's still the truth. He just got caught. I could see him fighting Pereira again if Pereira decides to stay at light heavyweight.
I could see him and Yuri, Jamal and Yuri fighting, while Ankalaev and Alex fight, and then.
But I got Pereira against
Ankalaev.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see on the ground, man.
It's true. It's a Russian.
Yeah, and on the feet, I think Pereira could do pretty good. Ankalaev does have power, and you know he's no slouch. He knocked out Johnny Walker, but I think Pereira's gonna have a little bit of an advantage on the feet. If Ankalaev can take it to the ground, I know Pereira's not a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but we'll see.
You got to give him his flowers at the end of the day, whether you like him or not. especially knocking out someone like Jamal Hill. Like, he's done enough in every division to prove that he belongs in each division. All he's missing is heavyweight. I know there's a guy in one who's already won 3 belts in 3 different weight classes, but to do it in the UFC is
it's a different thing.
it's a way different thing. So I definitely think he has the capability of doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, that is our 300 recap. This weekend, there are some fights going to be for Perez versus Nicolau. This Saturday, we got notable fights like Austin Hubbard, Victor Henry. Who else?
Austin Hubbard. He was from the
for the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. And then let's see who else. Yeah, we got Perez. We got Ryan Spann. We got Ariana Lipsky. And then Tim Means is fighting as well. So we got some awesome, cool fights this weekend that we're going to be watching and going over later in the week before Saturday. And then same thing, we'll see you the week after to go over everything. So tell your mom to subscribe, and we'll see you guys later in the week.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.